everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Everybody's here. How's it going, guys?
I'm living the dream. My hair's having a tough day, but I'm doing wonderful.
I just want to know how Jax is going to recover from Jeff having to pay that $100,000 fine. I wonder what conversation they're possibly having.
So it didn't just stop there. So the total fine is $350K.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So
I'm just talking about Jeff. They're part of it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. No draft picks lost. $250,000 fine, not really much. But on Jeff's part, I'm pretty sure he doesn't like giving up $100,000 to something stupid his kid did. I mean, I'm thinking all the dumb things that Jay McLovin did, and my dad beat my ass. I can only imagine what my dad would do if I cost him $100,000 on the job. That would be nuts.
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be either. I'd be like where Jimmy Hoffa is right now, probably in concrete somewhere.
Even if you were still alive, the ability to do anything might not still be there.
Wow, I just saw that today. I saw that today, and I was just thinking, like, gosh, man, he ain't coming home off college campus for a while.
So they find the Falcons and Ulbrich.
Yeah, both. So $250K to the Falcons, $100K to Ulbrich.
How do you think that conversation went for Ulbrich too? Getting called into the Falcons office, basically being like, "Well, you already know that you're fined $100,000." But because your son was so stupid, we're also fined $250,000. So guess what? You're technically fined $350,000 because you're going to have to pay us back.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And do you think that you got to think? I think you said yesterday they got to fire this guy. Don't you think his job is?
You don't think he won't get fired? He'll basically be working for free this year though, because I think his salary this year is like $380,000. So at that point, he's pretty much working for free this year.
Yeah, they're not going to fire him. But the big thing is everybody in the room is going to be super mad because now there's going to be new policies about having to log out of your stuff every 5 seconds. And there's probably going to be double verification to log in. And so everybody's going to be mad. And the worst thing is it's probably going to be league wide. So I bet he gets some hate mail.
Not only are you going to need a password to log in, but you're going to need a password for the password to log in, then a password for that password to log in just to get to your main menu screen. And then you have to type in another password just to get to your stuff.
Well, it's going to be you're going to log in and then it's going to send you a message to your phone. And it's going to be awesome. Because that's the part that the NFL is still investigating. So they levy the fines, but now they're looking into what are we going to do to make it so that this can't happen.
Well, that's the thing is, and Pags, he's part of your team. Cooper DeJean, was prank called at the draft. I mean, and yet nothing really ever came of that. I'm wondering how Cooper DeJean's number was found out and pranked on.
Well,
I mean, they have all of them.
Yeah, first off, I mean, somebody could get the phone number. I mean, they didn't have a specific. He didn't have a specific phone number. It wasn't until they started to prank these kids that they started to even think about the phone so that he didn't get pranked. And the fact that they recorded it, that's what got them busted.
Yeah.
I wonder, who made the money from TMZ? Because that's where that money, somebody should have made some money from that recording.
Oh, they did.
Well, and Shador's was a special phone specifically for this. So I don't know about anybody else's, but no one else had this number except NFL GMs. Yeah. So anyone else that got pranked, they're using a number they've had, could be their buddies. In fact, I'd almost be disappointed if one of my buddies didn't do it to me. Maybe not during, but maybe just before kind of thing. But yeah, in Shador's case, he had a specific phone that only the GMs had. So that's where, it becomes a little bit of an issue as far as not protecting people's information. And then to record yourself and put it out there, I mean, that's just next level stupid.
Yeah, that sounds like something that should be in that movie Jackass. Absolutely on that movie.
Oh, no question. Yeah.
What do they say? You never record anything. You don't record it. You don't write about it. You don't talk about it. You just
I
do
mean,
it.
I can honestly say I'm glad we didn't have video stuff when I was a kid because I did plenty of dumb stuff. You know, I'm glad there's no video or picture evidence of all the dumb stuff I did.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah.
too, bro. Me too.
So, Chris, why is Barkley getting heat for visiting Trump and playing and golf course? I don't know. Because people are going to cry
Yep.
because they have nothing else to do with their lives.
Yep.
So they're going to cry. So let them cry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're weenies. The people crying are weenies. That's what they are. And I'm calling them out as I see it. They're keyboard warriors trying to just start up some smack. You know what? He went to the White House. He met the president of the United States. I don't care whether you like him or not. Guess what? He's still the president. He invited the Eagles to the White House, and they went. And
Yeah.
if you think that, like there was a whole bunch of people that didn't go, it was their prerogative. The fact that he decided to go, guess what? That was his right. He was invited and he went. And that's what I got to
Yeah.
say about that. If I was
I
invited,
agree.
I'd go. I didn't vote for him. I didn't care to vote for him. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I voted for Burrito Supreme. Again.
Well, I voted for Pags. I wrote my name in on a ballot, so whatever. See how far it went.
So, I mean, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. You know, like the fact that people are bapping, they got nothing better to do with their time, is what it is.
I agree.
No, exactly.
I agree. You know, it's ridiculous, man.
What did you
It's
hear the thing with
ridiculous.
Did you hear the thing with Tyler Warren now too from Penn State?
No, what's going on with Tyler?
Apparently he got prank called the night of the draft also by somebody saying they were the Jets GM, which now they're wondering if Jeff Ulbricht's son did that because he was the interim head coach for the Jets last year. But Warren knew that it was a prank call because he's spoken to the Jets GM before and he had recognized the voice.
So what would be interesting there is then all of a sudden, are you going to start getting fines for each call?
That's what I'm wondering too, because Warren actually came out yesterday and said the night that I was drafted to the Colts, I got a phone call when I was in the green, or I don't know if he was in the green room or not. I don't think he was, but I got a phone call basically the night of the draft saying that a GM from the Jets was calling me, and I knew it wasn't him because I've spoken to the GM of the Jets before. I know his voice. So now that's another prank call that came out that night too. So now you're wondering if more players got this prank call, especially if it.
And you gotta think they probably did it for the same number. So all you gotta do is look at the phone records and see if that guy's number's in there and see if that number matches to the Shedeur Sanders number, and then bam. People are so dumb. I hope he didn't do that, but people are dumb.
But it would make sense though, because that's who Jeff Ulbrich was the interim head coach for, was the Jets. So that would be the easiest way to be like, oh yeah,
the thing is if you're searching around on the iPad, you have every prospect's number right there. So you'd be able to say you were whoever you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if it all ends up being the same kid, like that could get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You get nailed with a second fine, Ulbrich gets fired.
Oh yeah. Not only does he get fired, but he like Stat Guy said, he has no more money left. He didn't pay a good chunk of it. This fine.
Well, he won't be getting a job in the NFL again if it ends up being that his son made multiple calls and they can prove that his son did make multiple calls. He wouldn't get another job in the NFL because then he becomes a liability at that point.
Well, I mean, realistically, it's just because his son is idiotic. It really means it's okay. Like so, and it all happened at one time. Son stole all these numbers at one time.
Yep.
You know, and thought that it would be funny to do this. Well, guess what? It's not funny anymore, and now you're busted. And it's truth of the matter is that the kid, even at the $100,000 fine, you know what I mean? Because truth of the matter is that they can't levy that fine. The Falcons can't levy that fine onto Ulbricht. You know what I mean? Like,
no, of course. course not.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like they're going to have to pay it themselves, and you know, it sucks, and that's kind of what happened there and such. But if the kid winds up having a second time, like that's going to just sort of blackball him.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no question.
So I don't know what the kid does for, you know, the kid's in college, right?
Yeah, I think he's a junior.
Yeah, he's 21 years old, so he's got to be in college, or he's just chilling on the couch. One of the two.
I mean, he was on the couch that night. You know, and oops. And I kind of agree with you here, Jamie. A FaceTime call might make sense moving forward. You know, I mean, you're calling somebody's cell phone anyway, right? It's not like everybody. It's not like anybody's using landlines anymore. So a FaceTime call might actually make the most sense there.
Or having monitored, be like, hey, you know, like everybody's going to come up with like a password. Like, okay, like so all of the, like, you got to find out what the word is for each team.
Sure.
So I mean, it's like I laugh at all of this. It's just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
you know what though, Pags? So stuff like that can still get compromised. Even passwords. If a phone number can get compromised on an iPad, so can a code word get compromised. I mean, it really just comes down to better security of those iPads. I hate to say it, but Bo, like you were saying, that two-person authentication and all that kind of stuff, that's really what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, I mean, it's not like somebody from the outside came in and stole information or anything. It was the dude's kid. So there's going to be really annoying procedures that probably go into place that are protecting you in a situation that isn't that big of a situation, right? Like you had a kid do dumb kid things. It's not like somebody broke into your house and got the addresses of everybody because you didn't log out or something. But that's probably how it's going to get treated.
Yeah.
Well, we will see moving forward how this is all going to work.
Yeah. And so I don't know if he deserved it for acting like an idiot, but I mean, it's not like it's the first time this has happened. This just happens to be the first time that it's happened within an organization.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're acting like no one's ever had a prank call during the draft. Like it's absolutely happened.
Right.
But this is the first time that it's happened within an organization. And so now it's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, the last times it happened within an organization, they just didn't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get to the meat of the matter in terms of who was the one that did it. You know, because ultimately you should do a VPN. Should do a VPN on the phone, and you shouldn't record it, and you shouldn't, you know, post it on TikTok and be like, I just pranked Shedeur Sanders. You know, that's not a good thing to do.
No, not really. It's not a wise career choice, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the one guy knew right away in Shedeur's camp. He's like, what does that mean? It's like, you just got pranked, brother. You just got pranked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and in the past, a lot of times it's been the people's friends.
Right.
And like when it's your buddies, it's funny. You know, you're just like, you jerk. Like, you know, whatever. But but yeah, it being within the organization and then having video of it, like that's going to be the thing that changes policies into something really annoying. Like every time I have to sign up for something that's like, oh, you have 2-part verification. It's like, I hate you so much. Especially when it's like my mortgage. Do you really think somebody's coming to pay my mortgage for me? Like, I don't need 2-part. And if they do, let them.
I would be happy. I'd be, hell yeah. Please.
If somebody wants to come pay my mortgage payment, awesome. Let
I'm
them
not going to report it as. I won't report it as fraud. If someone wants to take care of it for me, by all means, I'm for it.
I am not mad at it. Like, some of the two-part verification stuff is laughable because it's like, oh yeah, oh no, someone's paying my bill. Like, because it's not like you can change anything. Like you have to actually call them and jump through all the hoops to change stuff. So if it's just me accessing my account to pay a bill, I mean, I don't know. But that's the level of dumb that they're going to have to go through now.
Right.
What's up, Germany? We got Germany and Italy in the house at once.
Yeah.
Wow. Good times. Good
There we
times.
go.
I wonder. So it's like German beer meets vino, and apparently the vino is very strong according to Joe. So that'd be interesting combination.
Okay. All right. Well, not a wine drinker myself, so I just stick with the beer, I guess.
I like you go in Tuscany, it's wine, and Sorrento, it's limoncello.
Interesting. Limoncello. I don't think I've ever had limoncello. That sounds delicious, though. Honestly.
Limoncello is delicious. I love it.
Good times. Good times.
Yep,
What part of Germany are you from, Ali? Yep. I have some family over there in Germany, so it's been a minute. I haven't been there. I have been to Bonn and Berlin of Germany.
I have not made it to Germany. I do have a niece that lives there, though.
I will tell you, the Hofbraus, they are amazing. That warm German beer is beautiful. It is so good. I've been there a couple of times, and
Heidelberg.
Man,
Nice.
Heidelberg, yeah.
I have not been, but there's a lot of places in Germany I haven't been.
Yeah.
I have been to
Munich was a
Luxembourg.
lot of fun. Munich was a lot of fun. Hohenfels was just a country town. So Hohenfels was, no, there wasn't really a whole lot to do in Hohenfels. Grafenwehr, not too bad.
Chad forgot what you were talking about the moment that you started to talk about your mortgage. he's like, yeah,
I already forgot what it was.
Gotta go. I you know what? I was considering paying your mortgage, Bo, but now I forgot. I forgot my question. So.
Oh man, hey man. Whew.
You know, if you pay mine, maybe you'll remember.
So, anyways, I was at the game last night for the Phillies, and I don't know if anybody watched the game or whatever. Nope. If you guys were watching any sports at all last night, because really it is like if there's with no basketball in Seattle, that really scratches them off the list because you're not really even a fan of the Mariners.
So I do watch playoff basketball. So I watch that. No, I watch the Mariners. I bag on them because I know that they're the Mariners, but I still watch.
Congratulate, no, but don't gloss over that, Bo. Now you've been doing well. I know you said if you get 4 runs, you got a good shot at beating the Mariners, but you guys have been putting up runs. I've been watching you guys.
I know.
You have been putting up runs, and currently you are 1 game above us, and you're in first. So congratulations.
So look a year ago.
Yeah.
Similar roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
So let's pump the brakes on, crowding anything. So anyway, so you were at the game.
And so it amazed me. Like, all right, so Wheeler pitches a gem. It gets all the way into the 7th inning and stuff like that. 2 outs in the 7th, gets pulled. They get out of the 7th, and they score a couple of runs in the 8th. We're up like 5-1, and in the 9th inning, our relief pitcher gives up after the first relief pitcher in the 8th got the bases loaded, and then struck out the side. So awesome, perfect. But then. Like no outs, and then struck out the side. Bases loaded, no outs, struck out the side.
That's hard to do. That's impressive.
And then, so ninth inning comes up, and we have, all right, get 2 outs, got a couple men on, and then there it goes, bam, the home run that gives them a 1-run lead in the ninth. So they score 5 runs. It was like 5-1. It's 5-1, 5 runs. Now it's 6-5, and we go into the ninth. And then they decided to, screw the pooch and give it up. Actually, we had a walk-off wild pitch.
Nice.
That is maybe the first time I've ever seen that. And actually, I had the recording going at the time. I actually had a recording going when I expected them to strike out to end the game, and instead it wound up being a 3-run home run. That video sucked. That video sucked. But I happen to also get the video where the ball starts to skitter aside, and they came running in, and the wild pitch to walk off, which really I thought was more of a pass ball, because the wild pitch wasn't a wild pitch that went past him. He got the ball, and it went north. So it went up the first base side, which made me think that was more of a pass ball than a wild pitch. They are listing it as a wild pitch instead, which was a surprise to me, because I figured that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, usually a wild pitch they don't get, right? Like, obviously he blocked it.
Yes. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, right there from Chad.
Yeah.
So the Cubs played the Pirates last night and did something that they haven't done in 13 years last night. They went the entire game without striking out once.
Wow.
Who was this?
The Cubs went the entire game last night against the Pirates without striking out.
Wow.
First
Against
time
Skeens?
No, Skeens pitches Thursday. They had Andrew Haney pitching last night. Andrew Haney came into the game with like a 1.47 ERA, which is like one of the 3 best ERAs in baseball right now. So yeah, they ended up going the whole game without striking out, which I think that the first time they haven't done that since 2013. They were the first team since 2016 to go a game without striking out.
I was going to say that can't happen very often.
Yeah, I think the last team that did it was the Red Sox in 2016.
Crazy.
And it's been, so you're talking 9 years.
9 years the team has gone without having one single strikeout on offense.
How many, and it makes me wonder how many times that's happened in just since the year 2000, let alone like maybe since, all time in baseball.
Before I get into that, I just got another ESPN alert here from Adam Schefter. It turns out that Abdul Carter got a prank call during the draft, pretending that it was the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then another person got another prank call later in the first round. So that's 4 prank calls now.
God, he must have been one hell of a couch.
So this is going to get real interesting real quick.
It's almost like watching Deshaun Watson as they all come forward.
And they're saying they all came from the same number.
They have not said that yet. They just said that all these people now that got taken in the first round were saying they were getting prank calls like throughout the night when they were in the green room.
Do you think Jeff went to Jax and said, "Damn it, tell me, how many people did you call, son? Was it just Shador or is there more?" You got to think that's a conversation.
If he wasn't having that conversation before, I bet he is now. Did you do this? Is this going to cost me more money?
Golly. Yeah.
Carter said both him and his agent knew it was BS. That's funny. Because, I mean, didn't Jacksonville, no, it was the Giants that got him. That'd have been funny if he got a prank phone call from the Giants and then the Giants then
actually take him
and be like, "Nope, I don't believe you." Click. It's the third phone call I've gotten from a GM from the Giants.
That would actually be hilarious.
Yeah. So to answer that first question you had, Pegs, there's been 38 baseball games since 2000 where a team has not struck out.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing. That there's none of them have been the Phillies.
The Royals have been involved with it 16 times, where they basically, when they were pitching, 16 opponents won the game without striking out against them.
Wow.
Wow.
Mm.
So that's when the Royals had to be really bad, like pre-World Series run Royals. That had to be like the early 2000s when the Royals were terrible.
But you would think like the White Sox or the A's would be a part of that.
Well,
I
the
mean,
A's had
realistically-
some good teams in the early 2000s, though, when they were making the playoffs. Same thing.
Yeah,
with
but
the-
I'm talking about like recently. Like it's
Oh yeah,
pitching. It's like it's not really. So it becomes a matter of how that game goes. You think about this, like you got to have a starting pitcher that's bad and gives up a lot of runs. And they keep him in there because he gave up a lot of runs early.
hmm
So, and it's, it probably got to get lucky with a couple of double plays and things like that, but you're getting outs to get out of innings via pop-ups or double plays or regular plays and stuff like that. Not getting a strikeout is like hard now.
for him, especially with how the game is played now, like how fast the pitchers throw now and everything. Like it's hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Like you're.
And actually, Frankie, the Yankees were one of the teams that has gone a game without striking out. They did it on August 23rd, 2014 against the White Sox. They won a game without
No,
striking out.
I mean, there you go.
That's the White
Because it's the
Sox.
White
How many times has a
Outside.
team lost a game without striking out?
The Athletics lost July 1st, 2014. The Athletics lost to the Tigers 3-0 without striking out.
There you go.
I would imagine the Mariners, if they are on there, are just on the wrong side of it.
Mariners were actually 2017, and they lost 7-4.
There we go.
Yeah, there's only been like 4 teams that have actually lost when they've gone a game without striking out.
Yeah.
Everyone else they've won.
All right. Does it say for every team? When was the last time the Phillies won a game without striking out?
I can look that up. I just pulled up how many happened since 2000.
Yeah, that go back into like the 1970s and 80s. I think it's been since like 1987. No, I'll go even older. Like maybe 83.
83, you're gonna say?
That's what I think. That they have struck out at least once a game since then. Maybe 2008, 2009. I do remember the 70s.
2012 was the last time the Phillies went a game without striking out against the Atlanta Braves on August 6th.
Okay.
And
I mean, that just means whoever was on the mound was a pitch to contact kind of guy.
Pitchers were Ben Sheets.
for the Braves.
Yep.
Because in 2012, that was the 4 aces.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like an Oswalt game.
Vance
Probably.
Worley.
Vance Worley.
Worley.
That's a name I ain't heard in a minute.
I like that Frankie's out here just trying to throw shade.
Yeah.
That had to be the good year for Vance Worley too, because he had like that one good year right when he came to Philly where he was like 10-2 or 10-3, and then the next 3 years total he won like 9 games.
Yeah, it's he was like a lanky looking dude, stuff like that.
With the glasses, the Kevin Gray glasses.
Yeah, but it was that was the 2012 was the 4 aces,
Yeah.
and that was when we lost to, that was when we lost to Carpenter 1-0 in Game 5 of that. He let up a first inning home run, one bad pitch in the entire game, done by oh my God, I'm trying to think who pitched for the Phillies. He was the he was the ace. He was the
Man,
guy.
take that mess down.
In 2012,
2012.
Cliff Lee
No, the other one.
wasn't Halliday, was it?
Halliday. That's it. Doc. Literally
That would be great.
wound up one bad pitch in the first inning that went for a home run to Carpenter. I think it was not Carpenter was who the pitcher was, and he pitched a great game. But we lost that game 1-0. Oof.
If you go back on the Mariners into the 90s, I would bet we have a couple that we lost in this fashion where we didn't strike anybody out because Bobby Ayala existed, better known as Bye Bye Ayala. He had one good season and then was pretty much hot trash.
There's a lot of one and dones in good seasons for pitchers.
Well, and his good season wasn't good. It was comparatively good, right? Like it was an okay season, but compared to the rest of his career, it was good. But he played for us for a while, which was unfortunate. We had a pretty good pitching staff, and then Ayala was there.
Yeah,
Wow.
but in the 90s, I remember the Mariners being okay.
Yeah,
Riverdale had Ken Griffey, right? Ken Griffey.
Yeah,
that
no,
was
we had a
the
good
90s.
squad.
Griffey,
Yeah,
A-Rod, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez.
Tino. Yeah.
Ichiro came into the league in 2000 or 2001 is when he joined you guys, right?
Yeah, that was after all those guys were gone. Though.
Yeah.
But no, like mid 90s, we had a great team, and we had good pitching. But it was either Randy Johnson and Moyer, or it was guys like Ayala. So you knew you were going to win like every other week, every other day.
And then didn't you have what the heck was the closer back then? Wasn't it like Kashihiro Sasaki or something like that was your closer?
No, that was after that.
What was that for it?
Yeah, we actually did have a decent closer. I don't remember who it is offhand, but we did have a decent closer. Usually the problem was with guys like Ayala was you didn't need a closer. You needed an exorcist because you were down a lot.
You had Richie Sexton too after that group too, didn't you? Big Richie Sexton.
Frankie just bringing all the hate today.
Yeah, Frankie bringing all the hate. Frankie just doing that because Frankie never got loved as a child, so he just
He's not been loved now.
He's actually the fire station baby. I got you.
he wasn't hugged enough as a kid.
Or too much. Maybe he was in a van. I don't know.
Are you going to try to make it to the NFL draft in Pittsburgh?
The paint. Just remember
yeah.
the paint
Me
chips
too,
aren't
Frankie.
candy. The
Me
paint
too,
chips aren't candy.
Wait, the vans have the best candy.
But I just said the paint,
Probably even have puppy.
the paint chips inside the van though are not candy.
If any children are watching, please stay away from the vans.
I mean,
We do not provoke the vans on this note. On this show.
you should have stopped eating them after the first one, but you just kept going. All them paint chips, they add up. Was it a white van? Yeah, but it's the spray painted free candy that lets you know that it's good.
Yeah.
Man. So on the NBA side, Tyrese Halliburton's dad
Oh, okay, don't be hating on Therese Halliburton's dad. I love that man. I
Runs
absolutely
out-
love that man.
runs out on the court and is waving a towel at Giannis, saying, "This is what we do," and is talking trash to him after after winning the series. That seems a little ridiculous.
It is, but at the same time, Shaquille O'Neal said it best. It comes with the territory because it's happened to him in the past when he used to play. And as a player, you cannot involve yourself in that situation. Regardless how emotionally charged you are at that point, you're still a player and you cannot do what Giannis did. Like, yes, Tyrese Halliburton's dad was wrong for doing what he did, but
I mean, he didn't do anything. He walked up
I
and
was like, what did he really do? He just stood there.
well, no, he headbutted Halliburton's dad.
well, he was looking down. He
Yeah.
didn't headbutt him.
Well,
If you got a 7-foot
I
guy looking
mean-
at a 6-foot, their heads
Yeah,
may
but,
touch.
I
But
mean, he got in his face,
How
but
But then there was
He's got the personal problem.
there was another altercation too with Giannis in the end of the game too with Ben Mathurin. I don't know if you saw the thing with Ben Mathurin.
no.
Well, Giannis put Ben Mathurin in a headlock after the game, and then Ben Mathurin pushed him away and he had to be separated again. So Giannis brought it on himself, really. Like, he let his emotions get the best of him, like he has a tendency to do when they lose a playoff series. And I'm not
Sure.
saying what Halliburton's dad did was right, but at the same time, it comes with the territory. You know that you are a rival with the Pacers. You know that if you lose to the Pacers in the playoffs, they're going to talk shit to you. You just need to figure out how to deal with it better than he dealt with it.
No. I don't have any problem with people talking when they're courtside, but coming on to the court and getting into it is
Yeah.
it is a little ridiculous.
That's his dad. His dad does it every game.
I
Is that-
don't see how that makes it better.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's
yeah,
just his
I
dad.
know.
That makes you
That's-
consistent. Makes you
That's
consistently.
what they were saying last night on, like, Inside the NBA was like, you kind of have to know the situation and know who's doing it, because Halliburton's dad does it after every game, regardless of who they play. Like, his dad refs my kids for basketball all the time. Like, his dad is one of the nicest people you will ever meet, especially when it comes to when he refs little kids. But when it comes to his son, like, his dad is very cocky when it does come to his son, obviously. But every game, regardless
I
of
was able to put that together. Yeah.
regardless if they're playing the Wizards, the Celtics, the Bucks, or whoever they're playing, Halliburton's dad has a front row courtside seat every single game, right underneath the hoop. It's the same seat every single time. Every time they win a game or every time they lose a game, he's always on the court after the game. It's not something he just did just for the hell of it. It's not something he just did for the hell of it. He does it every single game, and Giannis needs to understand that, because he did it too during the regular season. He did the exact same thing he did to
Yeah,
Giannis
but
last night during the regular.
at the same time, that means there's a problem. He
Yes.
should not be. Look, I don't care who you are. You still should
I mean,
not be allowed
exactly.
to come on the court and do what you think you can do.
That's
Because
what I'm
John
saying.
Morant's
Like,
dad
Giannis-
does the same thing.
Your
But that's what I'm
argument is the most ridiculous thing.
No, that's what I was gonna. That's,
Because he's consistently a douche.
No,
it's
it's-
fine.
no, that's what I was gonna. I was gonna make my point here in a second, though. Like, he's done this to Giannis before in the past, and Giannis has never reacted the way that he did last night. So that's kind of why I'm like calling out Giannis.
Yeah,
a little
maybe
bit.
it pissed him
It's the
off.
thing-
At some
You
point,
do
you
it
get
enough
tired of it,
times.
especially if a guy does it multiple times. Like, what are you talking about?
Actually, no. Tyrese's dad did not do that when his son played for Oshkosh North. Tyrese's dad, more often than not, was not at Tyrese's games in high school because his dad was reffing other high school games.
Yeah.
Sounds like he needs to go back to reffing.
He still does. He refs my kids almost every weekend for basketball.
Yeah, no, I mean during these games.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Basketball season's over in Wisconsin now. He's got nothing to do right now.
I was just reading that whole story about the Halliburton. I'm just like, that's kind of goofy. But
It's weird. I mean, and it seems like Halliburton to be like, Dad, like, calm down, dude.
Well, Halliburton did call his dad out after the game last night.
yeah, he's like, I'm like, yeah,
He
me
said
and my
he
dad,
basically said he doesn't
me and my
condone-
pops spoke about it, and he said he wouldn't do it again, and of course he did it again, but
Yeah.
he said he wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, so
Again
it's,
and again, and that's again.
it's just like it's not something he's going to stop just because I said he does it every game. But like, if you know that he does it every game, you just can't put yourself in that situation.
I mean, when he goes out and finds you on the court. Like,
I mean,
I
right up to
understand the
you.
point you're
that's
making,
not-
but
yeah,
it's,
I just laugh that you're trying to defend him being a douche. Like
I'm
that
not
is
trying to-
that
I'm
is
not
the
trying to
funniest
defend him
position
being-
to like die on the hill of. Be like, I'm going to defend this guy being a jerk. Like it is absolutely hilarious. I'm guessing. I'm guessing you're on Aaron Hernandez's side. Is that what we're doing?
no, I'm not.
Oh, that would be-
Defending on. I'm
No,
not
that would
defending
be
on him.
quick.
I'm not defending what he did. I'm just more so on the thing here where if you are an athlete and you know somebody continuously does something to get under your skin, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. And what Halliburton's dad did was wrong. I'm going to say it was wrong. But if you are an athlete and you know he does this every game, you just can't put yourself in that situation. You have to be the bigger person, regardless if he seeks you out or not. You just walk away and leave the situation. That's literally what you have to do, because you are going to be in a microscope every single time.
No,
What
it's
you do is you
funny
tell the
hill to die
NBA
on,
to
that's
up
all.
security. You tell the NBA to up security. You make a point of it.
Well,
That's
especially
what
if he
you
does it
do.
all the time, it seems like you would have people
Come
that be
on,
like, "Hey,
man.
today's not the day, guy." Like, man. Oh man.
Wow.
It's getting a little heavy over there in the.
Well,
comments.
Gino's last comment, right? Gino's last comment, right?
Oh, damn. That's
No.
Wow.
It's
The last
Wow.
comment that
Dark.
Gino made.
wow.
Tyrese Halliburton's dad does varsity games. He did the state tournament last year in Madison, and he's been voted the best ref in Wisconsin the last 9 years by the coaches for both the boys and girls varsity level. Like, he does a hell of a job when it comes to reffing, especially when it comes to little kids in tournament basketball. When he calls a foul, he will explain to the kids why he called a foul, and he will actually tell them why it was a foul as opposed to what they could do so it's not a foul next time. Like, he is an amazing ref at every single age level.
okay.
Just not at NBA games.
Well, that's why he doesn't ref NBA games. That's why he just hangs
No.
out.
I mean, he's an example of greatness everywhere but NBA games.
Yeah,
Maybe,
for the
Yeah,
most
no,
part.
he's great.
maybe he should go to NBA games.
No, just a funny hill to die on, man. That's all. That's all.
Hey.
He'll be there for game
Bro,
3.
but bro, you did kind of take that pretty dark though, man.
No,
I mean,
it-
like it was like here, and then you just went straight down into that one, man. Damn.
I figured let's just go all the way, right?
I mean, that's the thing. I was just thinking that that's something I would say, and the fact that you said it, I was like, you know what? Maybe I rubbed off a little bit.
No, just taking it to the next level. I was like, all right, we're doing this.
Hey, if we're gonna go all the way, we're going all the way.
That's exactly it.
Wow. Well, you know what I thought was interesting though was the Milwaukee Bucks game, or not? Was it the Milwaukee Bucks? It was, yeah, where it was 1,609 times where a team's been down by 7 points with 40 seconds to go, and nobody's ever come back and won that game. And I thought that was a pretty interesting stat for them to actually come back and the Pacers to get that win. 1,600 times that's happened, and nobody's ever done that. That's
Well,
pretty impressive.
It is impressive, but you can also say, and this is going to go down in the NBA now, as one of the biggest choke jobs, because all
for
the
sure,
Bucks had to
for
do at
sure.
the end of the game was hold the ball and get fouled. And what did they do? They tried to do jump passes the last 20 minutes and threw it out of bounds and got the ball picked off.
Oh,
Like,
so
all they
you're
had to
just
do-
the Bucks haters. That's
No,
what's
but like
happening.
literally, if you watch the last, they were up by what? They were up 7 points with 39 seconds left. All they had to do was hold the ball, and the Pacers had to foul them. And what did the Bucks do? They dribble it into the corner, get trapped, and instead of taking the foul, they try to throw a jump pass, and it gets picked off 2 plays in a row. Then they bring the ball down the court again, and then throw it. Same thing, a jump pass that Gary Trent. It goes right through his hands out of bounds. You literally choked yourself out of the one extra game because you couldn't decide to hold on to the ball and take the foul. It's another. And wait a minute. Who's the Bucks head coach again? Oh yeah, that's right. Doc Rivers, known for playoff choke jobs. So this
Yes.
is another one that he can add to his resume, and this is another game that's going to hang on his legacy.
I guarantee you want to see the second biggest choke job? Let Halliburton's dad get in Giannis's face again.
Well, that series is over, so you don't have to worry about
We
that.
don't know about that for a while.
Man.
Well, yeah, and Giannis is going to cry about the fact that he doesn't have enough players on his team anymore, and that he wants to go somewhere else. And that's
Or he's
all
going
about
to
happen.
want Doc Rivers fired, and they're going to hire a guy like Mike Malone, and the same thing's going to happen. They're going to have another early round exit, and Giannis is going to be like, "Well, I don't like Mike Malone anymore. We didn't make it past the first round. I want him gone too."
I mean, in theory, like even if they were to try to trade Giannis, what team out there that's considered a team that he could win on would have enough draft capital in terms of picks to give Milwaukee to satisfy him?
it wouldn't necessarily be picks. Obviously, it's going to be picks, but they're also going to want players in return.
I understand that. I'm just saying, but who would have that kind of capital that is in win now mode? Because I'm sure he wants to go to a team that's going to win. Otherwise, he would just say, "Let me stay with the Bucks."
Lakers,
No, Lakers don't have enough. They don't have
acquire
enough.
everybody.
If you're looking at draft pick wise, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Knicks have a ton of draft picks that they could send the Bucks away. So if you're looking at getting draft picks plus players, Oklahoma City and the Knicks would be the two teams you want to talk with, because I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, counting last year's draft, they have like 14 draft picks like the next 3 drafts. They have so many draft picks that they can expend whatever they want. And I think the Knicks have 6 picks in the next 2 drafts and 8 picks in the next 3. So those are 2 teams that you'd want to talk to right there. Be like,
I think Giannis said he wanted to play. He wouldn't mind going to New York.
yeah,
right?
so give us 4 picks and 2 players, basically.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the Knicks picks too are going to be top 10 picks because of who they traded with to get those picks. So the Bucks, if they did a trade with the Knicks, could put themselves in a good position where they could essentially have 3 of the top 15 picks in a draft, plus whatever the Knicks would send the Bucks way player wise for Giannis.
I mean, I don't think OKC needs him anyway.
No, I'd say that. Well, yeah, OKC doesn't need him either, but I don't know if OKC wants to trade some of their core just because their core is so young right now. Versus the Knicks, you have.
I wouldn't trade that core. Being as young as they are, yeah, I wouldn't trade that core either. Now I can see New York pulling it off.
Swept the first round, right? Like
they swept the first round, yeah, and it wasn't even. It was not even a gentleman's sweep. It was like you got your gentleman's sweep when you lost by 2 games in Game 4. We let you hang around for 1 game.
Yeah, no, I mean, so it's not. Yeah, they don't need him. That's not a real trade partner. The Knicks, I guess. Yeah.
Unless you put one of them at the 4 and one of them at the 5. I mean, you could probably finagle that one.
Yeah, because I mean, Josh Hart would become expendable in New York. He's had a great year with the Knicks, but if you're going after Giannis, Josh Hart becomes expendable.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched any basketball at all, so
yeah,
I could care less. And Giannis, I always thought was a crybaby to begin with.
He's turning into Aaron Rodgers on the Bucks, which is a common theme for like Wisconsin sports superstars. If things don't start going your way for a certain amount of time, you turn into a crybaby.
Thanks, Moose. Yeah, I was interviewed by our local, public television station.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nice.
What? How'd it go? Like what?
It went well. You can find it on my Facebook. It was, it was a nice interview. It was just, talking about like kind of what got me started. A lot of the stuff that I've said before, but said a little differently. It was done as a radio format, and
Oh, okay.
It was cool. It was a nice little interview.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. Where like it's interesting as I have been growing in popularity with all the different stuff and talking to other super fans and like in like Green Bay and such like that. One of the things that it was asked a lot of me is like, how is it that I'm really doing this? Like, it's one thing to actually hear me say, hey, it's I have sponsors and everything. It's another thing to actually think, okay, how are you really doing this with the sponsors and stuff? It's not easy. It's like, obviously anybody who does this business knows that, the sponsors ain't running to give you money.
No. That's a grind. Getting sponsors is work.
And
it's definitely work. I could understand that for sure.
Yeah, and that's what the symposium's really about as well. Like, as we're talking about that, and I know we send you see the commercial and stuff, but realistically, it's a matter of, other influencers and stuff like that don't have these ideas, don't have the knowledge that I have at the moment, and it took me a long time of fighting it to figure out where to even get some of this knowledge. So that's part of the fun of doing what it is that I do, and now helping out others and making that all, specific and getting to the point and stuff. So, but that was part of what it was that I was doing with that. It was, taking a different turn and starting to talk to others about, hey, this is what you have to do. You got to put in the grind. Bo knows.
Yeah, no, it's man, it's a ridiculous grind all the time. That is for sure. And I mean, and not just getting them, it's keeping them too. I mean, sponsorships. I mean, it's
Tell me about it, because
it is not the fun part.
It's also very fickle. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't take much to tarnish an image, and it's
yes.
Yeah, and ultimately it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's people will, the world is a funny place right now, and people on social media can say anything they want to.
Yep.
And it becomes a very big deal when something that isn't true starts to gain some traction.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you also got to be careful in how you respond to stuff, because I mean, a lot of times it's just troll accounts. Like if you click on it, they have no followers. They're following like 15 people, and they literally just created it to try and disrupt what it is you're doing. So you have to be very smart about how
I've seen those. I've seen those, like those type of accounts, and I'm like, what is this? And yeah, you're right. It's just, there's nothing on it. It's just a couple of pictures, and that's it. If that.
Well, no, and those accounts are literally just for them to try and ruin other people's stuff. Like that,
right.
That's all it is. And so you have to be very mindful that, when you're doing this type of business, everything you do is protecting your own brand. It'd be the same as if you were the CEO of any other business. Mm-hmm. You're not going to go out and do dumb stuff in a truck that has your brand all over it. Well, you are your truck. So you got to be very smart about it.
Social media is the wild, wild west.
It is. It's a good thing, but like you said, if used the wrong way, it can hurt you too. I mean, it's so fickle and so tricky. I mean, it really has made life good but complicated. Because back in our day, Pags, and Bo, and maybe Stat Guy, you're kind of a young buck, but social media, when it wasn't around, it wasn't that complicated back in those days.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't add them, Frankie. Yeah.
And of course, you can learn this and more. Symposium.
What's up, everybody? Philly Sports Guy here, and I'm here looking for creators, influencers, and business who are looking to turn their influence into impact. Join us on May 17th at Rec Studios Philly for the first annual Philly Influencer Symposium. This is the ultimate networking event for all influencers, creators, and businesses who are all doing big things in and around the city. It's all going down with your host, me, the Philly Sports Guy, and a powerhouse lineup of speakers, panels, and networking that's going to leave you leveled up and fired up. Whether you're repping your brand, building your business, or just want to connect, this is where Philly's most powerful voices come together. So I look to see you there on May 17th at Rec Studios Philly for the Philly Influencers Symposium. Get your tickets before they're gone. Let's go, Philly! Yeah!
Is that a Philly Power Ranger? Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate everybody watching today. If you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. If you're on Roku, stay tuned for the next hour. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. Enjoy your day, everybody.
Peace.